Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about stuff that's weird, that's in kids' cartoons, that's like surprising and I personally wasn't offended or upset by any of it, so don't call me like a weak-minded baby in the comments because I'm a very strong-minded baby. So call me that.
Today in Nerd History!
Finding where to draw the line for what's acceptable in a kid's cartoon is tricky because that line changes over time and, it also changes from person to person. So while the occasional misstep isn't uncommon, now and again shows will dive far into the deep end of the pool in the obviously too gross and inappropriate for the intended age group area.
Oh, come on, you prude. I was looking at pictures of corpses on 4chan when I was 10 years old, and I turned out just fine.
Jared, what are you doing?
Feel no pain. Feel no pain. Feel no pain!
Okay. Well, let's take a look at 10 inappropriate jokes in kids' cartoons.
Number 1. Teaching kids about twerking at an early age.
Twerking could easily be described as just shaking your butt. Pictured here, thank you, Squidward. But anyone with any amount of awareness knows that it's something just a little more than that. This ain't no hokey pokey, baby. Though your mom's hip friend Barbara might not know any better, twerking is actually a raw, hypersexual dance meant to evoke the image of some straight up nasty, regular hardcore boning, just really slamming it down on that D. Yeah. You knew that already.
Oh, no way, Tony. Twerking's normal now. It's basically the Macarena for people who have fucked twice.
Oh yeah? Well then explain why this kid's cartoon has a baby twerking in it.
Ew.
Yeah, ew is right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't heard of the Breadwinners, and that's probably for the best, since the very first episode features a character who celebrates by growing giant glutes and grossly gyrating for the camera. If it were a one-time thing, maybe it'd be forgivable. Maybe. But the very next episode features a baby with 3 butt cheeks twerking again. That's great! This baby's offering a pretty good visual of what it probably looked like when it was conceived.
Breadwinners started bad, but at least it didn't drag your childhood memories out of the closet and twerk all over them like the new Powerpuff Girls.
It doesn't matter that Blossom and Bubbles were under the influence of some rainbow magic. It's incredibly uncomfortable to see kids twerking their little post-toddler asses off.
Maybe you could write this one off. Like your mom's hip friend Barbara, they just think it's a silly dance. Same can't be said for Sym-bionic Titan.
Shake it, bake it, booty quake it.
Yes, this is actually a scene of an underage teenage character trying to seduce another underage teenage character with some booty shaking. She, of course, is oblivious to the fact that he is a bonerless robot, but her intentions are clear.
Oh, and the song that commands to booty quake it was written specifically for this scene.
I'll give that booty quake a 9.8 on my Dichter scale!
Oh, are you proud of yourself?
Actually, no. I have issues.
Okay, that makes 2 of us.
Number 2, everything about the Chipettes. Of course, dear God.
We've talked about the Chipettes before, and I'm sure there's got to be some fascinating think piece out there about the repressed sexuality of animators coming out through these hypersexualized 8-year-old rodents. But today, let's just play the hits. Roll the clip.
Here they are, kicking up their legs, showing off their garter belts for the entertainment of some adults on a steamboat, while forever making Proud Mary by CCR, the anthem of a cartoon you feel like you should be arrested for watching. If that's a little too old-fashioned, here they are rocking belly shirts and dancing dirty. 8-year-old Brittany even has a bust line drawn on her for some reason. And there's my favorite, which we've talked about in a different video, where they're dressed as sexy snake charmers who are telling a big snake, the dong of the animal world, that they want to get lucky with it. Then, oh God, there's the half-hour special, Charlene the Chipette, which features a brand new abomination created by a pervy animator, a character who's basically modeled after Jessica Rabbit, and the whole point of Jessica Rabbit was that she was ridiculously over-sexualized.
It's like missing the joke and turning it into gross boner material at the same time. Wow.
What do you need? You know I got.
Then there's the worst of the worst. This video has over 9 million views on YouTube, and it's not because the Chipettes are honoring the legacy of the great Aretha Franklin.
Gaze upon the comment section and weep. Also, note that the title of this video is Respect the Chipettes. Yeah, not happening. Okay, that's enough. Everybody go to jail.
Number 3, a Transformers episode so racist it would kill Optimus Prime all over again.
The Michael Bay Transformers movies have to be some of the most expensive cringe fests ever committed to digital film, with the egregious racial stereotypes of skids and mudflap just being like the turd cherry on top of the shit cupcake.
But Transformers' racist history actually goes all the way back to the original cartoon. The episode Thief in the Night takes place largely in a fictional Middle Eastern country of Carbamia. Yes.
How's that for subtlety? Too subtle? Well,
The country's full name is actually the Socialist Democratic Federated Republic of Carbamia, and it's an oil-rich nation that is no doubt supposed to represent Libya. Anyone who remembers the details of Back to the Future will remember that Libyans were kind of like the default terrorists for Hollywood movies in the 80s. And this 4,000 people, 10,000 camels is another groaner.
Oh, wow, a camel joke? Great political satire, Banksy. What is this, a hacky children's show from the 80s? What? Oh, never mind.
There's also this stand-in for the late dictator Gaddafi, who initially strikes a deal with the Decepticons only to be deceived. Whoa. Lucky for him, he gets bailed out by the Autobots, so he could spew another heaping helping of embarrassing and regrettable racial stereotyping.
I swear to you on the grave of my mother's camel, and my uncle's goat, and even my sister's donkeys.
The episode on the whole was so deplorable that Casey Kasem, beloved DJ, voice actor, and Arab American, walked away from the show.
when the dude who played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo thinks that your cartoon has no chill, it's probably time to reevaluate your life choices.
Number 4, good old-fashioned rape jokes in all your favorite kids' cartoons.
The don't drop the soap joke is so old that it's died in its apartment, sitting in its lazy boy with hungry cats eating its face. It's super dead. But still, hacky writers have been cashing this joke's social security check for years. Even the writers of SpongeBob.
Look, doubloons. Don't drop them.
Just to refresh you, the suggestion here is that dropping the soap directly references an incarcerated man being sexually violated by another inmate in a prison shower. It is an anal rape joke.
And we've all been laughing along because A, male rape victims haven't really been treated seriously until recently, and B, because we don't think of prisoners as people for some reason.
Despite this, the oh-so-hilarious conceit of a huge guy brutally raping a hapless victim in jail managed to become kind of a running joke in the Powerpuff Girls. Sure, Mojo Jojo is a jerk, but he's a cartoon jerk. Time and time again, prison rape is shown to be a hilarious consequence of mild cartoon villainy. Like Mojo Jojo, Yosemite Sam is an unparalleled butt munch. But that doesn't mean his children's cartoon punishment should include the unwanted advances of a bulky pervert. The Sam and Max Freelance Police animated series skewed a little younger than the humor in their classic game, but you still had this.
Showers. Gee, if these walls could talk.
I think it's best if they keep their mouths shut.
Well, okay, but you could take that any number of ways, right? You can't really say they'd either.
In here, Joker.
Oh, well, okay, you can take it one way. Exactly one way. And just to make things abundantly clear, Max has marked himself with a sign that says exactly when and where you are allowed to open up his little bunny butthole.
Oh, but imagine that cozy scenario where a dad is watching a cartoon with his son and he just starts laughing uncontrollably at a prison rape joke. And then he has to explain to his son, like, oh no, don't worry, you'll laugh about it when you're older. And shittier. Were you hover-handing me?
No, I mean, no. Yes, I know you have a thing about human touch.
I hate it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No! No!
Oh my god! Jared! We'll be right back!
Number 5, brave little toaster shenanigans.
You're probably traumatized by some of its more overtly horrifying moments, but the 1980s classic, The Brave Little Toaster, still had a seedy underbelly.
I mean, just look at this recorder. It should be immediately clear the spools are her boobs and the spinning tape more or less resembles tassels. Don't worry, if sexy home appliances aren't your thing, the movie snuck in some human boobs as well. And I won't even get into the implications of this man having a filing cabinet full of nude photos of women.
1997's The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue features a computer that jizzes computer paper.
Ooh, that feels sorta good.
What does?
My memory banks are being stroked. And by an expert. I feel something happening inside of me, and I can't keep it to myself any longer.
Bet you didn't know that freshly printed computer documents are essentially computer jizz. And now you can never unlearn it.
I mean, honestly, if you don't associate computers with ejaculating, you probably died in 1995.
Number 6, drug references, for kids.
I'm sure that there are a ton of you watching who are just not fazed or impressed or bothered by any of this at all. And cheers, you're super brave and you're way cooler than these kids' cartoons. Wow.
But in America, and actually most of the rest of the world, drugs in children's media are treated very seriously and usually don't appear unless in the form of an awkward PSA like this one. But that doesn't stop shows like Dexter's Lab from skirting the line.
Monsieur Foie Gras.
I can assure you it is 100% pure.
Excellent. Gentlemen, we're about to make a lot of bread.
A little stranger is the case of Mighty Mouse.
In the 1980s revival, Mighty snorts a crushed flower.
That was just an offhand gag in a mile-a-minute cartoon. The professionally offended took notice, as they do, and the show was shut down amidst the controversy.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars was at least smart enough to wait until it jumped to Netflix to finally show its space drug on screen. Spice is the drug of choice in the Star Wars universe, and probably legally distinct from the Spice in the Dune franchise in one way or another. And where there's spice, there are spice dealers, like Lon Pike, who tokes up in full view of the audience. Most of the things in this video seem like details that must have snuck past the studio and the censors, but regular show worked in a 420 joke on a VCR after the fact. You see, in this scene, a moment later it says 9:25. You might think that somebody caught the suspect time and pasted over it, but slowing down the animation shows that the exact opposite is true.
So what? Pot's legal. I mean, kind of. Depending on where you live. And if you're white.
Number 7, a weird amount of cartoons based on R-rated movies.
Nowadays, you can't really get away with directly marketing hard R-rated materials to kids, but a couple decades ago, studios found a way to neuter any hit property into a poorly animated serialized toy commercial masquerading as a children's cartoon.
Take, for instance, Rambo, which began as a startlingly poignant commentary on PTSD and the poor treatment of American vets, and then became this.
I mean, it's not even good bad like Rambo 2 and 3, well, technically it's First Blood Part 2 Rambo. Well, okay, you get what I mean. Here's a guy getting blown up with a bow and arrow. Leave a message in the comments below about how I said the names of the Rambo movies wrong because they did them stupid. It's not my fault.
The original Highlander is a head-choppingly ironclad classic, try saying that 10 times fast, featuring the amazing premise of immortal sword fighters trying to decapitate each other to absorb their power. The fact that the premise of Highlander hinges heavily on decapitation stop anyone from making an animated series? Somehow, no. When it comes to kids' versions of Highlander, there can only be none.
The Toxic Avenger was one of my favorite movies for a long time. My DVD box proudly brandished a sticker that said, featuring the full head-crushing scene, which of course referred to a scene in which a gang of rowdy gym rat teenagers in a muscle car drive over the head of an underage boy on a bicycle and it pops like a ripe melon. It was a great movie.
But somehow, despite this, and the Nazis, and the guts, and well, the everything, we got the Toxic Crusaders.
My, actual favorite movie, RoboCop, got a weird merchandise hawking kids cartoon, despite being a deeply cynical socio-political satire about a robot who shoots people's dicks off. Well, hopefully the toys were cool. They weren't, but hopefully they were. They weren't.
Number 8, every cartoon character apparently has a porn stash.
Name one cartoon character that doesn't have a stash of pornography. I dare you.
I dare you.
Come on.
Bring it.
Find me. Oh, the snorks love porn.
I got those snork holes.
Full of it.
Like a snorkel.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's where the name comes from.
I get it now.
It's dirty.
Number 9, a Powerpuff Girls villain has sex with a pile of dirt.
When the Powerpuff Girls aren't twerking or being violated in prison, they're having sex with mounds of dirt. This is real. Are you ready?
In the episode Shotgun Wedding, a perennial redneck villain, Fuzzy Lumpkins, finds himself attracted to Professor Utonium, who has disguised himself with dirt. When the sod's off and the jig's up, Lumpkins is still interested, but not in the professor.
Fun fact, I literally suggested that people have sex with dirt in a previous episode of this show, and you didn't say anything.
Yeah, I had to cut it out because it was too gross for even this program.
I think you're just looking for something to complain about.
Whatever. Okay, all children's shows should just be about having sex with piles of dirt now. Whatever, who cares? Let's move on.
And number 10, the Ripping Friends did hot dog sex way before Sausage Party.
And last, but certainly not least, is an episode of The Ripping Friends.
Oddities, a show that John Kay, best known for Ren and Stimpy, made in 2001. It's the same obvious joke that Sausage Party took millions of dollars to tell, but it aired on Fox Kids in Canada instead. There are a lot of questionable moments, but this one pretty much sums it up.
Who cares what Canadian kids look at? They're almost French. If they're ruined by this big, gross cartoon, they can just go get their brains fixed by a doctor for free.
Well, that reminds me, how are you paying for your therapy now that you got dropped by your insurance?
I don't. USA! USA! USA!